Welcome to Kyle Army at night in the touring car series. As you can see, is quite well packed. I'm starting off pretty much down the back end of the pack. I think I'm starting off in position 12. So let's get going with the race. Starting off, car to the left started ghosted unusually, and it did have actually a really good start off the line. So I could only presume maybe they're on soft tyres or have a different gear ratio. Getting right side by side with the Audi to my left. Bit of scratching here and there, coming down to the braking zone, braking at 100-meter board, down to second gear and turning in. Everybody piling up on the inside as they go into 4 wide. Honda Civic to my left, and contact has been made with the Civic. It gets a bit narrow the first few corners, doesn't it? Coming around the other side, brave move getting onto the grass there. It could have gone wrong and it could have swallowed me whole, but we have moved up to position 8. Following up behind the Audi up in front. Tail out happiness going on as I enter this corner and accelerating out the other side, really scrubbing up those front tyres. It's been a while since I've driven a touring car series car, and I forget you have to be a bit more forgiving on front wheel drive cars, especially when accelerating through corners and things like that. So I'm finding my feet again and getting back used to driving a front wheel drive touring car. Coming up the hill, going too wide at the top, contact has been made, getting really squeezed, and I tried squeezing back. I thought I'm not being bullied off the track, but I generally think it was just a coming together, and they won because they had inside line on the next corner. But I am going to see if I can make a move in this next section now. As they come over to the left, I dive up and do a switcheroo, have the inside line on the next corner and accelerate out the other side. Beautiful move right there. Faked them to the left, they defended to the left, and I just switched to the right. I think that was an epic move right there, and hit that like button down below if you do agree. Breaking into this corner now and trying to look for a way through, but it isn't going to happen. Following the link up in front. It's been a while since I've driven a link, to be fair. I like the look of it, the back of it, the front of it not so much, and I do find it a little bit bloaty to drive. Again, it could be down to the tune, but it does seem a very competitive car, especially when you're putting it on par with the Audi. Now, lap 2, we are up to position 7, which is not too bad overall, especially considering we started off in position 12. Here, a lot of understeer from the cars up in front and accelerating out the other side. Wonder what's going to occur here, because too wide into this corner is going to be quite interesting. I'm going to back out a little bit, and it actually paid off quite well between them two, and thankfully I backed out. There was no point in me joining the party as well. We're too wide into this next corner now, both giving each other space, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. And now they're tucking in behind me as I go in a little bit hot into this corner now, trying to salvage my terrible entry. But up the hill we go. I'm going to take the inside line of this next corner, braking as the curb starts on the left hand side, turning in and holding that inside line, defending that corner as much as I can, and accelerating out the other side. Now I just need to catch up to the link that has managed to get away from us up in front, and see if we can make a move there. Coming down this corner, looking at 100-meter board, braking down to second gear, turning in, and came in possibly a tad too hot. No, it's not too bad. Got to stay off the curbs at Kyle Army. Some of the curbs is like they're made out of, I don't know, it's like ice, where it just wants to push the car off the curb, and you have some weird funkiness. I think it needs to be looked at. You know, they can behave in mysterious ways, the curbs here. But we are only 1.7 seconds away from the car up in front. Position 6, Steely 2459 is 1.2 seconds away from us behind. So we are in a comfortable place right now. Braking down a second gear, turning in, accelerating out the other side. Now the two cars up in front are going to start battling, so hopefully we can capitalize upon that situation, as they did get a bit touchy-feely going through these two corners now. 1 second away from the Audi up in front. The Link did manage to make the move on them, which is great news for that person. Going around this corner now, coming in a little bit hot, and managing to hold on to it, braking down in second gear, turning in, touch of the curb and accelerating out the other side. Try to stay away from the curb on the right here. It will absolutely destroy you, especially when you're unexpecting it. Coming around this corner now, onto the curb here on the right hand side. Could have had again a better entry. It's one of my stronger points, those corners, where I can ride both of the curbs and I get a really good entry into this latter section, but I'm still all thumbs at the moment is the best way of putting it. Coming around this corner now, down the hill we go. We are 0.5 seconds away from the car up in front and almost 4 seconds away from the car behind. Braking out the 100-meter board, down to second gear. Was looking to make a move there, but I ultimately thought that that's not the smartest of ideas as they started to turn in. I didn't want any contact to be made. Over this curb here, massive crunch from the undercarriage of the car. Nothing to worry about. I just took the sump off and there's oil pouring everywhere. Thankfully there's no damage online in this game, because if there was and that was simulated, I would be in a bit of a pickle right now, but thankfully it is not. Oh, I forgot to mention, I did choose medium tyres, as you probably have seen. I thought because it's a long race, 30 minutes, medium tyres may get me halfway through and then I get another set of mediums after that. That is the plan. Whether it pays off, we're soon going to find out. There we go, one down, and, well, we're in position 5 now. Accelerating out the other side, Tamira Rice, maybe? If I'm saying it wrong, buddy, I am very sorry. I am awful with pronouncing names. 2.4 seconds ahead, so they have managed to eke away as I was trying to catch up and overtake the Audi that was in front of me. ULT Sean 90 has come out of nowhere. Absolutely butchered that corner. Come out of nowhere and found another second while I butchered a full corner there and managed to catch up upon us. Sadly, we've lost about a second or two from Tamir Rice up in front as well, so they're now 4.2 seconds away. I wonder where Sean has come from, because we was 4 seconds away from the pack behind and they have just really come out of nowhere. They could be on soft tyres though, and doing a soft tyre run, who knows. Everybody really is going to have a different strategy here, which is quite nice. Some people is going to be running three sets of softs. I'm going to be running 2 sets of mediums, and there's probably going to be somebody that's going to run hard then softs. I very much doubt hards are going to last a full length of the race. I think you'd be lucky to get 20 minutes out of hards, and this is a 30-minute race, so yeah, they're going to have really not much of a choice but to at least pit once. Coming down here now, 4.4 seconds away from the car in front, 1.9 from the car behind, braking at the 100-meter board, down to second gear, turning in, and should have got a bit closer to the line or to the apex there, but never mind. Over the curb we go, use the curb to help with a bit of rotation. As soon as the triangle starts on the left, touch of the brakes, down second gear, over the curb we go and start accelerating out the other side. Much better this time, but we still are almost 5 seconds away from the car in front. We are actually gaining time away from the car behind, which is only good news, to be honest. As coming around this corner now, our tyres are starting to look worn. We're only 5 laps into the race, 16 laps in total, and I want to pit at least at lap 9 to be at the better half for the second half of the race. So I don't know if they're going to make it. I mean, in all fairness though, the second stint of the race, I should be better on tyres in general anyway, just due to the fact of how I'm not wheel spinning off the line, I'm more settled in, we're not moving around other cars. It's a much better driving, not driving, but you're much smoother at driving than you were previously in the beginning half of the race, so the tyres in general should last a little bit longer. Could be wrong, very much. I don't know. I mean, it's no different to really scrubbing them there. But yeah, I would hope the tyres would last a bit longer in a second stint. I don't think Forza do it on a case of distance-based wear, but more obviously on wear indicated as how you're scrubbing those tires. Let me know down in the comments below, do you think the tire wear is distance-based as well as heat or temperature-based on how much you're scrubbing them? Or is it just a case of scrubbing the tires down and then that's a measurement of how much tire you have left? Anyway, I digress and move on. 5.8 seconds away from the car in front. I am just nothing but losing time from them at the moment, as well as my tires are starting to show their age. Thankfully though, UOT Sean 90 is almost 3 seconds away from us behind, so we are keeping them at bay. I'm really in a place of my own, let's say, at the moment, where I'm eking away from the car behind ever so slightly lap per lap, but the faster drivers up in front are also eking away from me, so I'm all by myself, to be quite honest. It's not always a fun place to be. I mean, it's a comfortable place to be, I'm not going to lie about that. It's nice to not have too much competition or be battling for too long, because sometimes when you battle for extended periods of time, mistakes happen and something or someone suffers from that. But it's also nice to have someone to be beside as well. Front tires are on my minor wear now. Braking down to second gear and turning in. I'm going to really have to stretch these tires out because I can't pit now. It's too early. But we are setting a better lap time, only just, but it's an improvement from previous. We are setting a 1:55 at the moment, and hopefully we can improve upon that, as I am now starting to figure out how to drive a touring car. 1.72 up on our previous lap, so we're going to set a 1:55.269. That's not bad overall. OCC Green Man is 5 seconds away, so the other person has gone into the pits and started to change their tires. Nobody in someone has in front gone and put different tires on, because we are catching up to ETR Rich 44. So I can only presume either the Link's overtaken ETR or the Link has gone into the pits. I should have looked. I was too distracted by other things. So OCC Greenman is 5 seconds away. So let's hope we can keep that time the same, as we are running this car on my minor wear at the moment. And it really is showing. I'm not going to lie, it is showing. And I'm struggling to keep the car doing what it's supposed to do. It's funny really, isn't it? Because I mean, long ago Forza was like a light switch, so your tires were grippy and then suddenly they weren't. And I still feel that as soon as you click onto minor or moderate wear, there is a substantial difference and it's not progressive. I still feel it's a little bit better than what it was, but it's still like a light switch at times. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you feel that as well, or do you feel it is fully progressive? Raking at the 100-meter board down to second gear, coming in a little bit hot to forgetting my tires are now onto moderate wear. Coming up to the end of lap 7 for the start of lap 8. Do I pit? Yep, I'm gonna pit. I don't have the bottle to keep going. But whilst we are in the pits, I'd like to take a moment out to thank our channel members, which are Jeffrey Anderson, Andy Good, DMC Motorsport Sympatic, Daniel Adams, John Burns and AK47. Thank you guys very much for supporting the channel, and if you enjoy what you're watching here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and hit the join button if you'd like to become a channel member. There's a lot of scratches on my car right now as I am exiting the pit. Yeah, the car does look quite beaten and bruised. But we are 40 plus 2 seconds away from the car in front, and I wasn't paying attention. I was going to stay on the pit line and the pit exit line, but there's nobody around, so in reality not benefiting myself by staying out of the way. I still do argue the fact of that I think if you exit the pits, you should stay in that pit line. If you cross it, you should get a penalty, as the car in front does rip up the handbrake. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below, whether you think everybody should be staying in the pit exit line instead of diving over to the racing line as soon as they exit the pit is at 52 miles per hour. I know they're going faster, but I'm being sarcastic there, where they just come over in front of you, you're doing 120 and they're coming out at like 70, and then you go straight to the back of them and pretty much smash them off the track, or you are massively unsettled and they're sitting there going, oh, what did I do? Honestly, it's seriously like the behavior of people that park in parking bays, that park on the line, and then you parked in a bay perfectly fine, and then they moan at you that they can't get in or out of their car because they chose to park on the line. But hey ho, coming round the corner now. I'm probably going to upset a couple of people with that one. We're coming around the corner now. TPR Type Rye is gone into the pits. Tamir Rice is 8 seconds away up in front as we are in position 7. So I've bled another 3 seconds from them in total overall. Thankfully, Super Leo 01 is 3.5 seconds away behind us. I don't know, do we reckon we might actually catch up to Tamir with better tyres? Steely 2459 is in the pits. And there's a couple of people, I think, coming out. Yeah, I'm just looking at the radar. Nope, there's nobody coming out. They're right down in front of us. ETR Rich 44 is 4.7 seconds, 4.6, as it settles down and does mathematics. 4 seconds ahead of us right now. Super Leo 01 is 4.7 seconds away. So we're back in where we were earlier, position 5. ETR Rich is 3.8. Am I catching them up? They have pitted, though. Crazily enough, though, TPR Type Rye is 18.5 seconds away from us. They've had nothing but an insane run and managed to keep pushing it. It goes to show, really. I mean, they're going to be at least, what, we're lap 9. 3 seconds a lap faster than myself. And I do think they're either on... They've got to be on medium tyres and managed to extend them, or hard tyres and absolutely hammer them. TPR Type Rye, let me know down in the comments below if you do see this video, what tyres were you running at this time? But yeah, they're going to be at least 3 seconds a lap faster than myself, which is really insane, because it is quite, it's not a big track, you know, it's 2 minutes a lap. To find 3 seconds, it may sound like a lot initially, yeah, but not a lot, sorry. If you calculate out, it could be a couple of corners here and there, could find half a second. And then it's the last second where you've got to find the temps on each place that you can gain back that time. Because finding a second is really kind of easy. It's the last second that you got to find. That's the insanely hard part. Anyway, catching up to ETR Rich 44 up in front, 3.6 seconds away now, and OCC Greenman is almost 6 seconds away from us. Doing well overall, but we need to remember to stay consistent ourselves and make sure we are protective on our tyres, because we had to pit a little bit earlier, so we're going to have to do 1 extra lap on these tyres compared to the first stint of the race. 3.2 seconds away from ETR Rich up in front, and again it's 5.9 seconds away from the car behind. We are better on this lap as well, which is nothing but good news. Just got to make sure I'm not scrubbing these front tyres too much, because they are already indicating wear, and that's not always something you want to see. I do think, though, it would be great if Forza or Turn 10, whatever, would implement variable tyre wear dependent on the race. So, you know, every race is different. Some races will have 1 times tyre wear, some will have 7 times tyre wear. I think that would provide a more variety of strategies per race as well. Maybe a forced tyres choice as well. So, forced set of hards, forced set of soft tyres, for example, or forced medium tyres. So you have to go into the pits on these longer, let's say medium to long races, and either choose a medium or soft set of tyres or a hard set of tyres. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Should that be implemented? Because I do believe it would be a nice variety to change things up a little bit and not make everything so obvious. To me, short races is you can get away with medium, soft tires. Medium races you get away with medium tires, and long races you get away with just about hard tires. And you just do a few laps in soft tires, unless you have, let's say, a long pit entry and exit. That's like a minute long, let's say Laguna Seca. Then you can actually just pretty much push the last few laps on the hard tires, because the minute you've lost, you don't lose that on your tires overall. I think it would just be nice to have a bit more variety throughout the races, and not so clearly obvious what tire strategy you should do. Anyway, I digress and move on. We are now 1.8 seconds away from the car up in front, which is a Subaru Levorg ETR Rich 44. I'm trying to bring you in, buddy. I'm trying to bring you in. And we're slowly catching up. Thankfully, though, we are now 4.3 seconds away from Greenman behind. Nope, they managed to find a few temps. Back down to 4 seconds. I just got to make sure I've lost a good half a second somewhere. I just got to make sure OCC Greenman does stay away. I think we're actually quite settled in position 5 overall, and I think that would be maybe the determining factor of the race. Yeah, ETR Rich went a little bit wide there, so we're going to have a tighter line coming in, but I think they're going to have the faster run down the hill. I need to find where I lost that half a second. Anyway, coming down here now, looking out for the 100-meter board, hard on the brakes, down to second gear. And coming around this corner now onto the curb. Didn't need to, but accelerating out the other side. Over we go. Crunch over the curb. Ooh, that was a little bit rough. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I really cut that one. I don't even know how I didn't even pull off the track limits on there. That was a crunch. Now, because of that poor entry into that corner, lost a bit more time. Oh, we actually was only 2.79 down. I couldn't get my words out then. Overall, which isn't too bad. So yeah, there is time to be found, especially in the latter section of the track by myself. OC Greenman 3.7, ETR Rich up in front 1.6. Oh, got to try and reel him in. Over the curb we go, and accelerating out the other side. Yep. Thankfully though, TPR Type Rye is only 24 seconds away from us up in front. We are catching up to another car. Position 12. So we are lapping someone, and thankfully it's not like the other races. So they are ghosted. Going into the wall. I have no idea what that is about. So 1 second away almost from ETR up in front. 3.5 from OCC Greenman. They are slowly reeling us in, which is not a comfortable spectre, especially at lap 12 of 16. I don't think I'm going to be able to hold them off for that long. I reckon they're doing at least a 10th or 2 per lap. I found a little bit there. No. The calculator that Forza uses, I don't know why. It's not perfectly accurate. It's a bit funky. So sometimes you see them, it's like rubber banding, where it comes in and then goes away, and the time is not always accurate. But we are 0.8 seconds away from the car up in front, and our tires are starting to show their age, sadly. Oh, OCC Greenman is gone into the pit, so they may have well been on soft tires. And Tammy Rice is also in the pits, pitting again. Now they've probably are going to go on soft tires. Is it beneficial though? That's the question. Is it beneficial? Because we are now in position 4 up in front, and if we manage to get past ETR Rich, we're going to be in position 3. But the tires, I don't think are going to last another couple of laps, because we're lap 13, we've got 14, 15 and 16 to go. And I don't think the tires are going to be happy lasting for that long. And considering Tammy is only 10.6 seconds away, and they would have been about 10 seconds ahead of me, give or take. 20 seconds off the pit. No. Not feeling comfortable at this moment. There is a lot of what ifs, and there's a lot of, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting latter half of the race. I tell you what, put down in the comments below your predicted finish position is, and then at the end of the video comment whether you was right or wrong about that as well. But we do need to make a move on ETR Rich up in front, see if we can get past them. We're breaking at 100-meter board here, down to second gear, turning in. My front left hand tire has gone on to minor wear. Oh, both tires are now onto minor wear. If I was going to pit for soft tires, it would have been a lap before. I think, nope, I thought ETR was going to go for the pits there. We are pretty much neck and neck here. So it's going to come down to who's got a quicker run down the straight. Trying to see if I can make a move. I'm just trying to get as much slipstream as I can. And they're really defending, so give them a little nudge. Braking at 100-meter board, down to second gear, hoping that the intended acceleration boost I may have given them could have also caused them to overrun that corner, but it wasn't meant to be. And my tires now being on minor wear may be an issue for myself, because I think I'm going to do nothing but bleed a time from ETR Rich up in front unless their tires are worn as well. And it's kind of hard to tell. That car in front can be a little bit tail happy. Tamia Rice though is 7.6 seconds away from us now and are only reeling us in. So can we hold on to this position for another 2 more laps, as these tires are on minor wear. I think it's by the end of this lap they're going to be on moderate wear. But we are side by side with ETR Rich up in front. Well, Sider's now braking at the curbs on the left hand side, turning in, holding the inside line, getting on the power as early as I can out of that corner, and really trying to defend my position here. So we are now on the podium. Now I just got to hold on to it with my lovely worn tyres. Braking at 100-meter board now, down to second gear. Come on, car, that's it, over the curb. And accelerating out the other side. ETR Rich is looking to make a move. I've gone off track. Don't give me a penalty. Thank you. Over the curb we go. Lovely crunch from the undercarriage. Braking at the 50-meter board. I was trying to give ETR Rich a bit of space as I was halfway off the track, and made sure that when I come back on, or just glide myself over rather than just swing myself over in front of them and cause a collision, which did obviously then put me in an area of a penalty zone. Thankfully though, the stewards saw sense and clearly saw that I was driving considerately and thought that's not worth giving me a penalty. So a round of applause to the stewards and for the 1 in 10th chance of getting it right. Problem I have now is my tyres are now on moderate wear. ETR Rich is 0.3 seconds away. Rookie Brook up in front is 20 seconds away. And I've got to be honest with you, I can't defend anymore. These tyres are roasted. So I'm going to let ETR Rich take that position back. And Tamia Rice is 4 seconds away. Oh dear. I didn't want to defend too much on ETR Rich. That car is much better at managing its tires than this Audi, for example. And knowing that they were right up my bumper, really, to be fair, it just wasn't worth the battle to try and keep a position and basically hinder the life out of ETR Rich to an extent. There's so much defending you can do, right? And this is my opinion on it. Obviously, more than welcome to comment down below if you believe I am wrong. But look how I'm entering this corner now. They would have took the position anyway. And Tamia Rice is right up my trumpet. But yeah, sometimes you just got to think to yourself, I've overtaken them, and now my tyres are destroyed. It's not really worth that kind of battle, as I did give Tamia Rice space as well as they came up the inside. I can't defend to an extent of where I'm on the run how can I put it? I'm struggling to get the words out of my head. So my defense strategy is not going to work for the fact of that car's gone off track again. I can't compete. These tires are so worn out that everybody else around me can A, stay on the track, and B, be faster than me. If I made a mistake, for example, and I was slow through a corner, then I could defend my way out of that corner and defend my actions to the next corner, and then try and work my way back up and basically get my confidence back, kind of thing. And then I could eventually start eking away from them, or I could just actually defend and still be competitive, and I'm not holding them up. But because I'm at such a disadvantage right now, my tires, I have the tiniest little red dots left in the bar. If I was defending, I'm literally just causing nothing but problem. I mean, Tammy Rice is now almost 5 seconds ahead of me. OCC Greenman is 12 seconds behind. They're going to be on better tires than me. They're going to be reeling me in at this last part of the lap. So I do think I've got that feeling, because by looks of the radar there, Tammy Rice may also overtake ETR Rich here, because they've only also pitted once. Tammy Rice may have the better tires. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. If you was in my situation with these tires as cooked as they are, would you have surrendered the positions like I have to a car that is obviously at a much higher advantage as well as skill level than myself? Or do you reckon I should defend it to the hill? Bear in mind though, there is a point of defending where it becomes crossed over to blocking, which you don't want to do. Do you think I should have defended more? It'd be really interesting to know what you all think. But we have lost almost 6 seconds to OCC Greenman. But thankfully, we have crossed that line in position 5. Smashing race overall. It was an absolute brilliant race. Thank you all for those involved. And nope, ETR Rich managed to hold on to that. Only just though, 1 second away. Tammy Rice, 1 second there. Anyway, thank you all for watching. See you all next time. Goodbye.